Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 49 of our 50-day scale up challenge, which means that today happens to be the penultimate day. Newton, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. How has your day been for you or your week?
My day has been fine. I continued on my API that I was working on, and I found a way to also make use of TK Inter to make a trivia quiz app. I'm almost done. So I'm sourcing the questions from some sites, Open Trivia database, and from there I get the API link for that website. You just give them the type of question you want and the number of questions, and they generate an API for you. So I place the API in my code, and then I'm sourcing it to the TK Inter to introduce a new question after every try, and you get to see your current score and whether you got the question wrong or correct. So that's what I've been up to today.
Okay. Okay. That's a good bounce back. Yeah. Kweku, how's your day been and what have you been up to?
Oh, hello guys. Good afternoon or evening, where depending on where you are. Um, Sorry for the noise in the background. My day has been quite slow. I have not done anything today at all. I have been working on my Java, which we did in class on Saturday. Since Saturday, trying to build a POS system in class. We did that successfully, and I'm supposed to go. I was trying to go through it yesterday to see if I can get my own understanding of it and all that, but I really couldn't do much. And today I couldn't continue. Hopefully, when I get home after here, I should complete day 49. I want to finish my task tracker project I mentioned the other time. I'm almost at the penultimate. I just have two more routes to work on, and then I'll be done with the app. So when I'm done with that one, hopefully I can focus more on my Java. So I want to make the app, the task tracker, my last project for the challenge. And then once we're done with the challenge, I'll also go back to my Java. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's great. So today being day 45, I guess you've identified a lot and you've taken note of a lot. So where are your personal hotspots when it comes to learning something new? Your
You mean
hot zones when it comes to learning something new.
you mean me or Nathan?
Yeah, you, Kweku.
Right. So can you ask the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, so where are your personal hot zones when it comes to learning something new?
Okay, so for me, my personal hot zones when it comes to learning something new is finding the right material. I think that has been one of my biggest hot zones. Usually as to whether to resort to books or graphic content. That aside, even when you find the right content or the right person to teach you, it also now comes to understanding the basics or the foundation, not necessarily the basic, but the foundation. For instance, if you want to learn how to speak a language, you may have to know the foundations, as in how the phonetics is, what kind of, how do you have to um, structure your mouth to make a certain sound before you even start learning the alphabets in that language. Yeah, so mine is more like trying to understand the foundations really before even learning the syntax or any language of programming. Try to understand the basics. That's where I find it mostly hard to grasp within a short period of time. So just those two: the finding the right material and understand the basics, which form the crust of the entire aim or purpose.
Okay, okay. Newton, what of you?
Okay, so for me, more like what Kweku said, because when I started this, 50-day challenge. Getting the resource was quite difficult. I didn't know which of the courses to go for, and should I go for a certificate course so that after everything I just showcase my certificate, or should I look for a course that I'll be building projects? So finding the right materials was quite daunting for me. And then how relevant the skill is, like what I'm learning, how relevant to is kind of a hot zone for me, because I need to dive deeper and do research. Is this thing still relevant in the industry? If it's not, I'd have to, put it aside. So I think these two things are more like my hot zones.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. And when you take notice of it, it looks like we are borrowing ideas from a lot of places. We started from a very wide area, then we limited it some time back to the Japanese culture, and then Japan moved to the kitchen, moved to racing, took a lot of lessons from all these sides, and today we are fighting fire. Um, yeah. So the hot zone. So anyone who is watching and like, what is this hot zone? And the person is thinking otherwise, it just refers to an immediate area where danger is presumed to come from. Okay, and there are devices for detecting these hot zones. But when it comes to skill development, you have to look at um, where danger is supposed to come from, critical failure points. These are some of the things. And one of the hot zones, aside skill development, but working itself, is bugs. Yeah. Listen, can you share anything about bugs with us?
Okay, so how the word bugs in IT came about was somewhere in 1947. The engineers were working on the Harvard Mark II. So when they were working on it, they found a malfunction in it. So what they did was to open the hardware and then see what is going on. And when they open the hardware, they found a mod in it. So then they removed that mod, and then the device started working perfectly. So removing that mod uh, became debugging. So removing the bug from the hardware, and that's how the word debugging came into being and has been around since then. So from 1947 till now, we are still making use of the word debugging.
Okay, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it's even just like how we are borrowing ideas. So they just took the word bag. A bag was covering the verb, so you remove the bag. Yeah, the bag. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. So let's move to something else. And it's just talking to us about staying focused on what you're doing and what is most important. So what are some of the indirect signs when it comes to learning? So indirect signs you've learned to watch out for when it comes to learning a new skill or your workflow. I don't know if I make much sense in that.
Yeah, maybe explain it a bit
Okay.
indirect.
So the indirect signs that you have learned to watch out for when it comes to learning. Okay. So an example is let me put, what will I say? So there's it. So there are certain times that something is failing, and the shallow obvious reason for it might not be it. An example, when we're dealing with the five whys, I was like, you should even ask beyond the five. So example, why are you not consistent? The reason for you not being consistent is not that you don't have a laptop. You can equally do it on your phone. So an indirect answer, which might be the core of you not being able to learn, is about you being disciplined and about you understanding that you don't need to have the most powerful device for you to build a model. I don't know if I'm able to make sense now. Sincerely, I'm not even making sense to myself. It feels like I'm not able to communicate what I have in my head. But what I'm trying to say is that on the learning journey, there are times that you feel this is what there are times that you are failing, or there are times that things are failing, and on the shallow it looks like there's one cause. Then when you go deeper, you realize that no, that is not even the cause, it's not even relating to it. Or there are times that you focus on solving one thing, later on you get to realize that no, this is not even related to what is causing the problem. I don't know if you've ever had any challenge like this.
Okay, so I think I'll just maybe what I my experience might be what you're trying to put across. So there was one time I when I was downloading my Node.js for the very first time on my computer, and I did a download and I started using it.
On your
And
what?
come on, I have a British accent. Come on, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was trying to get it on my computer, and after I did the installation and everything, I started, I said, hey, this thing is new to me. Let me see how it works. Watch some tutorials, and what I was following was not working on my computer. I was like, why is this thing? I have the same thing. So it turns out that I went back to look at a video of how to install the application, and it turns out that I had to check a box somewhere which I did not really know. And there I was thinking that maybe I didn't install a package properly for the video I was watching earlier, or maybe I'm just not good enough. But I realized that no, that means that going forward, maybe indirectly, when I'm learning a new skill and it involves having a new software on my computer, I have to check the how to install the app to see whether there are some things, some of the apps you have to check some things to get some features and everything. So that's also for me an indirect way, a thing that I learned indirectly to check in my learning progress to see whether even your machine has the right specs to run the app, 32-bit or 64-bit and whatsoever. So that's my view.
Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, Newton, do you understand the question?
Yeah, I understand it. Let me see. So I think during my undergraduate, um, for courses that we normally took that were mostly like pure mathematics, I found myself struggling a little. Yes, so I'll be solving questions and stuff, but then I don't know. I was thinking that maybe like I don't really get those stuff, so maybe I'm not giving it that much time. So sometimes I try and spend countless hours on it, but then I think after graduating also, that's where I realized that the whole point was consistency because with math you would have to be consistent every day. You have to solve a new problem, solve a new question so that you get to know the different alternatives of how to approach questions. And that was my whole problem. But all these while I was thinking that maybe I'm not really that good at it, or maybe I'm not giving it time. But then after some years, yeah, yes, I realized that it was about the consistency that was making me struggle.
Okay, okay, thank you. And then most often we happen to work with a team, and some of the problems are best identified by our team members. So this is about team building and how we can help each other out. How can teams build a system to detect invisible hotspots before they become problems? So hotspots, either hotspots relationship wise, within the team, the project you are working on, or anything relating to your team? How can teams develop a system to detect these invisible hotspots?
For me, I think that with teams, the idea of teams has a lot of dynamics to it. But linking into what you're saying or what you're asking, basically, I would put the onus on the team leader or team lead, such that before the team is created, the team lead would have to know the people that are on the team. What are their motivations? What are their abilities? What is their experience? What team have they worked on before? What field of study are they? Are they right for the role they're going to be put in? For example, if you have a software team, you have people for you have the designers, you have programmers, you have analysts. So are they a right fit in terms of skill set? Number two, what is their social life like, or what is their what how good is their communication skills? And then from there, you can, even if they are not what you want, you can, as a leader, find a way around to see how you can motivate them to work together, even if their skill set is not even up to what you need. As a leader, you would have to go and find out what are the possible problems that might come up because of these lapses in their abilities or in their experience. And by that, as a leader, you can implement policies based on their problems or what you found out, and then bring up creative ways to solve them. And then I think it should do. That's my idea.
Okay. Newton, what do you think about that?
So yeah, I'll agree with Kweku because in working with a team, you would have to know that they are from diverse backgrounds and they are coming together. So you need to know their strengths and their weaknesses. I believe that in teams, maybe before they even join, you need to make them do a personality test or something to get to understand like the areas that they are well performing in and their various weakness, and maybe for themselves they don't even know that's their weakness or stuff. So you can make them do a personality test or something so that they get to know their weaknesses, and you as the leader too, you get to know their weaknesses, and through that you will be able to work well with them.
Okay. What do you think came to my mind when you said you will agree with Kweku?
Come again.
What do you think came to my mind when you said you will agree with Kweku?
I don't really know.
Okay. But about personality tests, do we
Okay.
have do you have any personality test you want to recommend?
Yeah, the Maya breaks the system personality test. It's very good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Because personally I have a challenge with this personality test because the whole thing looks like the set of people they make reference to, um they don't consider people like us. So we whenever some of us take the test, we always fall as outliers, but the system has to position us somewhere. I don't know if
Sure.
you've noticed that.
Yeah, I have. I have.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I've taken note of. But I would highly recommend you take the personality test. Take a lot of them and then um draw a conclusion on yourself. Yeah, but personally I have a problem with a lot of them. Yeah, and I won't blame them because rarely do we collect data like how it's been done in the Western world. So yeah, that's it. I also want to talk about something that's the thermal imaging. And then most often when these firefighters go to work, there are times that you have smoke coming out and you can't see the source of the fire, you can't see human beings, you can't see wall and the rest. So what they do is that they have thermal imaging devices that help them to see beyond the smoke. And as a team leader, one of the things I would advise you to do, or even as a teammate, is that try to develop your own thermal imaging device where you can see beyond things. For example, someone who is always very joyful and comes to work. So when someone is always very joyful whenever the person comes to work, and suddenly one day the person comes to work and the person is not talking to anyone, and nobody even detects it because you can still see the smile on the person's face. But as a team member or a team lead, you will have to be able to tell what is wrong with that person, or identify it that, okay, there's something behind this wall. No, this smile is a smoke. There's something behind it. And it's one of the things that can help your team to grow. It helps you to just see things on the shallow and then go deeper. So what have we been able to talk about this week? Of no, previously we spoke about the taste test protocol, mise en place, the Japanese mindset. We talk about, yes, we spoke about a lot of Japanese mindset. The two ritual code triage. I think we did code triage yesterday. The golden hour, that is always remember to practice something. Nelson Hanoff, learn how to communicate with your teammates. Those are some of the things that we've been able to do. Tomorrow will be the final of the 50-day challenge, and congratulations to all of you.
Yay! Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not been easy.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. And probably some people might be feeling that, yeah, it's 50 days. I've done only 30 days. Trust me, you've done a lot. Trust me. And even if you've done 10 days, at least you are 10 days better than how you were before you started. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's an improvement that we are looking out for. Last words for the day from everybody, then we are out. Quick
Okay, let me
one.
go first so that I can quickly run away. Yeah.
Okay.
So last words, last words, last words, last words. So I think it's a good thing. It's been a good time. Although we've not ended, in my mind, I feel like I've ended because like I have only tonight to learn my last, so that I can finish my app by tomorrow. But I think that for those watching and for we those who are actively involved, I think it's been a good run. And like we said, the firefighting, debugging, and all that, the thermal energy and all that. I think that we should do this often. At least after the 50 days, you can have another 50 days in like 2 months or 3 months. So just as by way of a suggestion, yeah, or something else, whatever comes to the mind of leadership, we are ready to squeeze out time, because where there's a will, there's definitely a way. So I'm done. Thank you.
Okay.
Talking like a sportsman that is giving his final remarks after a game.
Boss James, I see you. I see you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
So my
Newton.
word is going to be in the form of a confession. So even if sometimes I don't get it going, yesterday it's not something I'm proud of, but I was able to listen to him whilst he was on his session, but I had to go off again because of what I was doing. But yeah, it's been a great time following on from the heat map. I actually wanted to say something about the hot spot for team members, but no worry, maybe one day I will share. I was coming to tell you that you will have to use if condition to be able to determine, and then you have.
Boss James on show.
But I came in late and protocols duly observed and courtesy demands. So it has been a great journey, even when we took an F1 flight and then the Japan racetrack and all that. You might think I'm not following, but I've been following. But I'm so happy to have embarked on this. Just as he said, even if we're not able to do the 50 days, I think that's a consoling message to me. If I was able to do 30 days, still have upgraded.
James, you are forcing me to tell you that if you've not been able to do the 50 days, at least 80% of it you have failed.
Please take your first words. That's why I'm using it for the remarks. Tomorrow I'll be the first one on this line. So see you all tomorrow.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Prof. James.
Okay, yeah, Newton.
Okay, so my last words. So, as leaders, right, no matter how skilled we are, no matter our experience in leadership, there will always be times where we encounter problems or difficulty with team members. So, it demands this skill that we are learning about, dividing it into hot zone, a warm zone, and a cold zone, so that we would be able to solve the problem. So it's very important for us to understand these tactics very well to help us in our daily lives. So that's my last words.
But
Okay.
he spoke like a pastor.
He said Newton spoke like a pastor.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's currently in the seminary. Yeah, he has done 4 years in the seminary. He's waiting for 3 years more.
wow.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. He has done 6 years. It's just left with a year. Yeah.
If there's one thing that I will I will never agree to do in my life, or ever like never see, even if an angel appears to me and tells you that Joseph, marry, then go and do my brother, please go and change the prophecy. It won't work.
I will develop a hologram to come to you. Kweku, meba. And to tell you that, yeah, it's someone's belief and yeah, it's what people believe in and it's how people want to serve God. So
Yeah, they could
yeah,
never
it's a
say never.
personal decision.
Well,
Yeah.
as for me, I'm thinking for myself. Maybe Ellie can try it. You too, James, you can try it. Look at your face. Look at this face. When I say Ellie
I saw a tweet recently and someone was like, I will never try a profession in IT. And I'm like, how can you say that? Like, how can you say that you will never try a profession in IT?
yeah, that's wild. I mean,
And yeah, it's a personal decision. So yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Now, is this another person? I think Instagram.
Hey, James.
James, your sound is quite poor. Yeah, so the person who said he will never try a profession in IT, the person really made a very good argument. What he posted,
Oh, okay.
extremely good argument,
really.
but he has not convinced me. Yeah, James, I think your network is good. Your sound is good now.
Yes. Oh, I was even coming to say if we are not careful, if he doesn't strategize well, you might be part of. There's a word that there's this one person he always says in his video, poor masses. if if maybe he won't try a profession in IT, but trust me, you might invest in IT. You might invest in a profession in IT. That is just what I have to say. So don't believe him.
But Ellie, the one who said it, what was his argument? Can you give us a summary of it?
So number one, the person made mention of the recent layoff in tech that Microsoft laying over 7,000 people. And then before Microsoft, it was Panasonic that laid off a lot of people. And that's the layoff. Like you don't have a job security, even if yeah, the person was like you don't have a job security. The person made that argument. The person also spoke about the burn off and the burnout, and it looks like you're constantly working, even when um you are not to the laptop, you are working. And then the person also made mention of things like you get promoted when you become an expert in something. So, example, you are a software engineer, and then when you become an expert in the software engineering, let's say, yeah, when you become an expert in it, then that's when they make you a manager. So, which means that what you become an expert in, you don't practice it any longer, but rather you are now supposed to manage people and manage a team. Then now you start learning a new thing all over. And by the time you become the the manager, you're so it's like you're always transitioning. Then today CSS 3 comes out. By the time you become an expert of CSS 3, there's an update. You have to go and learn a different thing. The person made quite solid arguments, of which I understood the person, but the reality is that those are some of the reasons we love the thing. And yeah, the person was like, you see an IT guy always wearing t-shirts, but his laptop is $4,000. And how can you live a life like that? Um,
I think
people
this one
be,
they were speaking to somebody I know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Newton,
he's
they are
even
talking
saying
to
yeah.
you. Ah, people say yeah, James, you must be a problem. Yeah, yeah. So
Be scared of Elio. Ellie is a rich one. Hey. Yeah.
please don't let quick loan come and chase me. Quick loan, please. I know I've taken a lot of loans from you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see that audio. If you don't fear the woman, if you don't fear Ellie,
Yeah. And the person also spoke about the kind of life you indirectly have to live when you start these IT things. But it's that it's a personal thing. It's not that you become a tech guy always with a laptop. The person also spoke about health conditions associated with all this, not just software engineering, but tech in general. And he also made mention that the actual people making money from tech are not the IT guys, and that is very true. The real people making money from tech, it's like football. The real people making the money are not the footballers.
they are the managers.
Yeah, because they'll go and buy a player 58,000 euros. Like, how can you
Then
just are you sincerely buying the
you
person
please
58,000 euros?
correct it. You just said 58,000. What about
Yeah,
those that a million? Mention the thing.
yeah, like yeah, but in reality, it's that's how it's. Yeah, the person
Yeah,
made a lot of arguments of which I understood the person, but actually, those
that
those
is
are the
very.
reasons we decided to sing. We can never go back. Oh. No, no.
Uh, uh-huh.
It's already
It's
too
already
late,
too
though.
late.
It's already too
It's
late.
already too late. At this point, me, we're average. I'm not going anywhere.
No, I believe that if this was even a full discussion, I believe that it is per your personal view because I've seen some
Yeah,
people they've made it in tech. They got to some point, they've they don't just do the tech in a normal way. Yeah, they invest in other aspects of life. They put their money to good use. That if they decide to stop it, Charlie, they are dope. Get
bro. The tech has really paid bills. Like tech has really paid bills for me. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I sometimes look at my laptop and like, who am I? Who am I to own this laptop?
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I can look
Yeah.
back to when I got my phone. Who am I? Who am I to hold this
Who am
phone?
I? Yeah. Yeah. And the money came from sleepless nights. Yeah.
Charlie, drinking a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Suddenly, but I don't take coffee.
Wow, how do you do it?
Mm. Yeah, it's you just have to just do it yourself. You don't take coffee.
Okay,
I'm
I
not. I
take.
won't advise you take coffee. But even if you do, don't
Mm,
make it a regular thing. Yeah, I'm now a strong advocate for sleep.
you said?
I'm now a strong advocate for sleep.
Oh,
Mm.
it's nice. It's nice. You know
So
what you're saying is true. But you know when I started taking coffee,
when
undergrad, James, I don't have time for that. It was a master's though.
no,
I
but
was I was chasing it and chasing this kind of works I do for people. See, I was trying to blend all. I have deadlines to meet. I have to learn for this thing. So sometimes I pile up the notes and then focusing on deadlines to get some money. Then when I pile up and I want to learn, then you're feeling tired and sleepy as you are telling lies. That was when I began to take coffee, but I realized that I don't want to be addicted to it, so I reduced it. And now, for now, I stopped taking it in the evening. I just take it as a morning routine, one cup, and I'm done. I don't take it in
okay,
the evening. Now I don't even sleep early.
okay,
That's the issue. Yeah. So imagine when I come and take it in the evening.
okay. But I don't take coffee, number one, because it doesn't work for me. But at a point, I started taking some sets of coffees, and then you can take the coffee and it looks like your eyes always like this. And 3 days you've
Yeah.
not slept, and like that's the concentrated one. It's like they have the beans themselves, and they use steam. So like it's extremely concentrated. And like, oh,
Oh,
so now I've gotten what I really wanted, because whenever I take coffee and I have to sleep, I still sleep.
it's
It's
not
like
good. Charlie, we are advising you people it's not good. I think I'll be where Ellie is. It happened. Up
yeah,
until 6 a.m., I was not able to sleep. I had a paper that like the eye was not closing. Actually, I did overdose that day. I took the coffee and I added Storm energy drink.
Hey.
This is
what the
the
red?
devil and the
Just this is
recipe
red.
and
Charlie, the
Yes,
guy
this is
sitting by me
red.
was like, "Hey James," I said, "You did here."
Yeah, but
You know,
it's one of the things. Yeah, James.
yeah. After the whole day, after that paper, when I finished writing and I entered the embedded lab, people were surprised. I packed the chairs and I lied down. The next time I woke up was 3 p.m. to get to the hostel. Like my eyes, oh, it was heavy. It's not advisable. You just have to really plan and then work things out well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think one of these days we have to give a talk on optimizing yourself, because I think that's one of the things that I have come to identify, that um, we don't have time to sleep, we don't have time to sleep. But when you look at your calendar or when you audit your time, you realize that actually you spent 5 hours on things that you should never done that day. So why don't
Exactly.
you just keep those 5 hour activities and use them to sleep? So that's one of the things I'm doing this year. This year I've taken a lot of decisions that are really helping me. No regrets. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page with that for some few days now, even if
Which
the
textbook?
setbacks come.
Which textbook are you on the same page with me?
Early textbook.
no, it's not at least it is Acula Ima.
So I tend to like be conscious of the actions I'm taking. Yeah, sometimes I fall back and I'll be like, "Hey, this thing I do, you're not supposed to be doing this now. Stop, stop." Then I try to pull myself back, and then I think that was what has really helped me in the 50 days challenge. I had to structure no matter what. Like, oh, I'm going to meet Ellie, Kweku, and Newton on the call. Charlie, you have to learn something in the next hour so that you can be able to share something, not just be there and all that. Yeah, so it's very helpful. Yeah, Ellie, your last words.
Goodbye.
Okay, see you
See you
tomorrow.
soon.
Wait, you guys, wait. I'm just saying that sorry. I think at some point we have to maybe after a challenge we can have maybe some sort of YouTube events once in a while just to keep the mind fresh on some of these topics. How people would join the Zoom meetings once in a while just to make impacts also.
Okay. We leave that to the Twin Tech CEO that has refused to employ me.
Sure, exactly.
We can never turn back. Oh no, no,
We have come too far. Oh.
no, no,
It's already too late. Oh.
That is
no,
why the
no.
session has to continue.
Yeah. So we will definitely have to continue this because one of the key things we learned is that it's a continuous journey, and one of our godfathers said, um, "Enjoy the journey." Oh, how did he put it? The journey is the reward. Yeah, Steve Jobs. The journey is the reward. Yeah, and that statement just makes extreme sense to me. Yeah, we all remember the days we spent in school, but rarely do we remember the certificates we got. Yeah, we enjoyed
Yeah,
this.
that's true.
It
That's
took
true.
us 4 years to achieve just a 1 day certificate and A4 sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's a continuous journey, and the reward is,
here's the journey.
yeah, the reward is a
Yeah,
journey. Yeah, the reward is a journey. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And that A4 sheet certificate, the only thing important on it is the certificate number, because when it gets missing, that's what they will use to give you another certificate.
Yeah,
This
it's
life, people should run. Oh.
those who are in hurry that are working running. We are working.
Okay, okay. The tech rich guys, please come for him, family people.
Oh, my family people there they can come, but the family demons that cannot come.
Wano, okay, okay, your mouth. Be whining your mouth.
Uh, Newton, have you said your last words?
Yeah, I have. I have.
Okay, so guys, thank you very much for joining today's session, and see you tomorrow for the last day. Kweku, we will have to do what you recommended that we do. So we'll schedule all those later. Bye.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Uh,
We'll schedule my employment too.
And lateness is a crime. See you tomorrow.
It's a
bye.
bye.